Hey guys, hola chicos, kamusta na kayo dyan? Welcome to day 50 of our extreme enhanced community quarantine here in Metro Manila. Hoy es el día 50 de cuarentena comunitaria extrema mejorada extendida o sa wikang Tagalog ay ang mas pinahabat, mas pinalakas na na kwarente ng pangpamayanan dito sa Kalakhang, Maynila. And yeah, it's been a month and a half now since quarantine started, and yeah, we've been stuck at home for most of this time. I think I'm at this point where I'm feeling a little anxious. There's a lot of anxiety running down inside me that, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty happening where we don't know when things are going to go back to the way they were, to the once chaotic lives that we used to live uh, a month and a half ago. And yeah, but as of now, the extended quarantine is set to which will be in effect until May 15. Um, they There are reports I'm hearing that there's going to be some sort of easement that's going to happen in certain parts of the Luzon Island region. Uh, all So they're going to focus on places where the pandemic has hit most in certain areas, certain cities, certain towns, certain villages, and yeah, and there are talks about downgrading the quarantine level of certain places into a so-called general quarantine, where some aspects of normalcy are going to be brought back, but with some guidelines to still allow for some social distancing, for some at least controlled movement of people and the like. So what I've been doing this past couple of weeks since my last update, well, basically I've been busy doing my own work. Aside from my work, my actual work from my company, I've been doing some self projects, passion projects. I actually have one particular project that I'm trying to finalize today and have it uploaded to my YouTube channel because that's my thing. And I've recently unearthed some old videos of mine dating as far back as 2005 and 2006, uh, when I was a when I was back in high school, uh, and I thought of putting them on my channel as well because why not? And I think it would at least allow for my channel to not be so much be a little inactive as well. I've recently just finished my my Spanish classes a week ago, and yeah, I'm not particularly confident that I'll be able to go through to the next level. We on our last day in On the last day of our term in Spanish class, we had an exam where we were tested on our knowledge of the lessons we've learned in the past 10 weeks. From the past 10 weeks, it's mostly multiple choices, so there were times where I've actually second guessed my answers. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, and there were things that I'm sure about, but there are just a lot of conflicting answers as well. So there's that, and then uh, at the end of the exam, we're supposed to write an essay, and the topic of our essay would depend on one of two options that we can choose from, and I chose the option of writing about my experiences on my first day of class in my first ever term in taking Spanish classes. So there's that. I think I've come to the point that I can write Spanish. I can speak a bit, but I'm not very confident. I probably need to practice a lot more, and that's why I have my second channel, James Aprende Español, para para tengo una espacio o una plataforma para practicar mi skills en hablar español. And anyway, and as far as reading, I think I got a hold of that. So yeah, it's a matter of trying to continually studying the language, practicing the language, trying to speak the language as often as I can, and watch a lot of shows in Spanish. So I was actually done with part 2 of La Casa de Papel, Money Heist. So I'm in the middle of part 3, the third season of La Casa de Papel. And afterwards, I'm planning on taking El Vecino. It's a Spanish series and on Netflix that was released back at the start of the new year. Uh, anyway, I don't have plans right now to enroll to to a new term, or rather repeat. I think it would be best for me to take a break. And from what I know, the school is is going to hold online classes for next term. And while I've enjoyed having online classes every Saturday, it's not the same as having being in an actual classroom, being taught by my teacher, and getting everything up close and personal, and being able to interact with people. It's those things that I really miss the most. So for now, I think I'm going to take a breather on that particular part of my life. Anyway, back now on the topic of fitness. I've been trying to get myself fit, but I'm not. No, I don't have much equipment. I have a bench with some plates right next to me in this particular side of the room. I haven't been able to use it as much as I should, but I have been doing ab exercises every morning, but not consistently every morning. That, and then I try to do some meditating and walking exercises from YouTube. But it's something that I have to do on a much more consistent basis because I'm apparently getting a little thick in this area and thick on my lower abdomen. And as you could hear, that's some flabs. um, yeah. So I'm trying to create a schedule that works for me here in the house, because between my own personal time and then my own house responsibilities, and trying to take care of my niece, which is a full-time job now in place of my actual job. uh, it's a matter of knowing your priorities and be able to get things done in the way that makes it work for you. There's a lot of things that I want to do outside of the house. It's not possible at the moment, like actually going out to eat, watch a movie, but all of that is not possible. So I'm trying to entertain myself by watching movies or watching TV shows online, and yeah. But at the same time, being able to have dinner conversations with just about all the members of my family in one house has been very much a blessing. It's like it's the most that we've been together ever since my brother and my sister left the house after getting married. And yeah, it's this quarantine has its upsides, but we do want things to at least go back to what to once was. I won't say normal, because there is really no such thing as normal in living here in the Philippines, but rather go back to things that were before, not exactly normal, but some to our so that we could be able to provide to our families, provide for ourselves, to support ourselves, and keep things working. It's a very complicated thing, especially on what's happening right now outside of the country, over in some parts of the globe. I think most especially in the United States, where there are actual protests coming from people who doesn't want to follow stay-at-home orders, who doesn't want to go under home quarantine, and they would rather just gather in large in large mass gatherings to protest this 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 preventive measures being taken by their governments. And yeah, that's quite stupid. I'm sorry. That's just how it things are looking like. And I actually even heard that people are denying the existence of COVID-19, or that there's no pandemic. But have you have you ever been to other countries? Have you actually seen the news? Have you watched the news? It's just very frustrating to see those people. Meanwhile, over here, apparently my country has got into a diplomatic spat with Taiwan, because apparently a labor attaché of our de facto embassy, because we don't have actual diplomatic relations with Taiwan. Our labor attaché there wants to have an overse- a Filipino who works in Taiwan be deported because of apparent critical views to our president. But first and foremost, Taiwan doesn't need to doesn't have no other reason to deport this foreign worker, because it's protected under their country's constitution to have freedom of speech. And at the same time, and as I mentioned, we don't have a diplomatic relationship with Taiwan. So we don't have a repatriation agreement. We don't have those kind of treaties that would have made. So it doesn't really make sense for our government to force another country to deport a citizen of our country, unless they actually done something wrong, which is nothing more than an actual spat, or just say bad things towards someone, being critical. And I don't want to get much on the complexities of this issue, but let's just say that we shouldn't really get into whatever is going on with Taiwan and China. And it shouldn't be our business. And at the same time, we should actually know we should have our people should know better, because uh, anyway, May 15 will be the supposed last day of our lockdown, and I'm hoping things will turn up, and hopefully a vaccine will be made, so that things would things would uh, things would slow down. This pandemic would die off, and we could go back to our lives. But for now, uh, we'll just stay here at home, staying safe, staying clean, staying inside. Go out if we have to buy stuff, and make more videos on YouTube. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's it's really hard to live like this, but it's been a pleasure to share what's going on my end. So let me know yours if you want to. This has been James, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios, paalam, bye.